Welcome to the Colonel and Mr. Big, episode number 5 on this wintry day.
How you doing, Tommy?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Doing well. We got about, I'd say probably 6 inches of snow. It started
We got
yesterday
probably,
morning.
yeah, we got 4, and today the wind's blowing 30 miles an hour, so it's kind of
Yeah,
crazy, going crazy. And I drove in it yesterday. It was pretty bad, but I'll talk
there
about
was a
that
big,
here in just a little bit. But how was your Thanksgiving?
it was good. We went over to our niece's house and saw a lot of my side of the family that we don't see too often. And too much to eat, of course. And then we went over to Jill's sister's and saw her side of the family and played cards. And it was a great day. Nice day. How was yours?
Great. Yeah, it was really good. We went to Mike's and, of course, had too much food. It was just, it was really, the grandkids went to their side of the family and things like that. But I've got a special guest here this morning, Mike, that kind of curtails what Thanksgiving is all about. And we talked about family. And one of my pride and joys of my life is my granddaughter, Ayla, and she's here to join us today. Ayla, come on in.
Hi, Ayla.
Hi.
How are you? How are you?
Good. Good.
Good.
So one of the things at Thanksgiving we got to see was Ayla's niece and my great granddaughter Navy for the first time, her first Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of Navy?
She's cute, and I feel like as she gets older, we're gonna have a lot in common, maybe.
Oh, okay. Ayla also had a basketball game on Saturday, and she played her old team. And what was the score?
2 to 4.
22-4. Ayla's team won.
How many points did you have, Ayla?
I didn't have any points.
She didn't have any points. She had
That's
about
okay.
5 rebounds, though. She had about 5 rebounds,
That's
which
That's
helped.
okay. You know why? You know why? Because so many people always want to know how many points are scored by a person, and I don't think that's the most important thing. I mean, it's important, but the rebounds, the good defense, the assists, and being smart on the court, those are just as important. So that's okay.
And then
Absolutely.
yesterday, we had the opportunity to go up to Purdue University and watch the Purdue volleyball team play Indiana, which the football teams played Friday night and the volleyball teams played yesterday. And both teams were rated in the top 20 in the country. And Purdue won that 3-1. So
Nice.
Ayla and Dacia, our younger our granddaughter, was able to go. And so that was pretty exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, those are fun. A lot of fun.
Okay, we'll
Good.
let you go.
See you,
Say bye to
Ayla.
Mike. That's the door. All right, Mike. Yeah, that's always what Thanksgiving is always great about that. And like I said, we had a lot of food left. And but yesterday, it takes us normally about an hour and 15 minutes to get up to Purdue. And yesterday we got there okay. It was snowing when we got there, and we're snow on the ground. But when we came out, it was unbelievable. We walked around this building. We parked about 4 blocks away, and when we got around, walked around this building, and the wind was blowing so hard you had to look down. You couldn't even look straight into it. It was so bad. And then it took us 2 hours and 35 minutes to get home. So it was double the
And
time. I mean, it was just crazy. And you know how people are driving in this stupid
yeah,
weather. It's just nuts. So
semis. Yeah, and there was a big pileup on I-72.
yeah, we came
Also, I
down
should say.
65, but I think there was one
Okay.
on 65 too, but, people was just I mean, I was going like 45 maybe in one lane, and this guy just flew around. I mean, several cars just
Yeah.
flew around us, and didn't make a lot of sense that, people drive like that, but, uh, yeah, it's winter, and it's not even winter yet, so it doesn't make a
Right.
lot of sense, that, that's happening so far already.
And
Uh
I've looked at the forecast. We're supposed to stay in the low to mid 20s as far out as it projects. So I think the snow is here to stay this year. Finally have a white Christmas.
Supposed to be everything I've read and heard is supposed to be a pretty bad winter here. I mean, worse than last year. Last year was pretty easy, but I think they said for us about 50 inches of snow total. So you see, I am a Purdue fan. I'm not an Indiana fan, but I'm wearing my Indiana sweatshirt and my Notre Dame hat because of the pride that we in the state of Indiana have, the fact that we are going to have 2 teams in the college playoffs. So we are pretty excited about that. A lot of good games yesterday. I don't know if you had a chance to watch any of them or not, but
I watched the Badgers, which they were back to their normal selves. And then I watched the Iron Bowl last night until late in the second half. And then I fell asleep.
yeah,
So
I
it was a
mean,
good ending, though.
it was Alabama. I mean, of course, won, which we didn't. I wish it hadn't happened because I'm not an Alabama fan. But I stayed. I fell asleep. I didn't see the end. I watched Notre Dame. They didn't come on until 10:30. But I did watch, they were up 28-3 when I fell asleep, and I think they won 40-20, 48-20 or something like that. So,
I know the whole Lane Kiffin saga, I guess, was there was supposed to be a meeting this morning at 10 Eastern time, but they pushed that back to later in the day. And so some announcement will be made today. Everyone thinking he's going to LSU for 90 million and, the whole playoff thing, or is he going to coach and all this kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens this
yeah,
afternoon.
I don't understand. I mean, I don't know why. If he knows what he's going to do, he's not going to change his mind, I don't think, unless Ole Miss can come up with a. I mean, I don't know. I can see loyalty to a certain point. He's been there 6 years, though. I mean, and you got to look out for your family. I mean, if you're offered a $90 million contract, I mean,
I take it.
to go do what you're good at. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, I don't blame you for taking the money, but again, that don't say much. And again, I think the whole thing, the whole premise is, does he coach or not in the playoffs? That's going to be
Yeah.
the key. I mean, it's
And that's why they think that there was such a delay. They were waiting to see the outcome of Auburn, Alabama, and what would happen. So
yeah,
we'll see what
yeah.
happens. Yep.
I
Yep.
mean,
Hey,
most of the
Tom.
projections I look at now, if the playoffs were to start today, it looks like Ole Miss would probably play Virginia. If Virginia, of course, wins the ACC championship, they got to beat Duke, which most people and Duke got in there kind of crazily. I don't know, but SMU got beat, so that put Duke in, which I thought it would put Miami in, but it actually puts Duke in the ACC finals. So I just pulled up this morning. Of course, Ohio State 1, Indiana 2 doesn't change. Georgia moves up to 3. Texas Tech moves up to 4. Oregon moves up to 5. Ole Miss to 6, and then Texas A&M falls all the way to 7. Oklahoma stays 8th. Notre Dame stays 9th, and Bama stays 10th, and then that would put Virginia 11th. And they say Tulane will be the 12th team in. So if it would start today, Notre Dame would play Oklahoma. Oregon would play Tulane, or Notre Dame would play Oklahoma. The winner gets Ohio State. Oregon plays Tulane. The winner gets Texas Tech. Texas A&M plays Alabama. The winner gets Indiana, and Mississippi plays Virginia, and the winner gets Georgia. So, but again, I'm not sure if the conference championships plays into this or not. So I don't know. Like Indiana plays Ohio State. If Ohio State was to get beat, would they just flip flop? Maybe Indiana becomes number 1, Ohio State 2, or and if Indiana gets beat by Ohio State, do they not drop? I mean, I don't know
Yeah. And the
how that.
announcers were talking yesterday. There shouldn't be a drop for either team. Whoever loses, they should stay 1 and 2 or flip flop with each other. That's it. They shouldn't drop
I
any
don't.
further than
Yeah,
2.
I don't think the conference championships should mean anything because if they start meaning things, then a lot of teams aren't going to play in them. They'll just say, "I'm
Right.
not playing," which is
Yep.
going to certainly
Yep.
affect the whole thing.
I'm really looking forward to that Ohio State Indiana game. I think Ohio State's going to win, but I hope it's a good.
I don't ca I'm not an Indiana fan, but I don't count them out of anything. I'll tell you what, they
Yeah,
got a good defense,
great
they got
offense. Yeah.
a good quarterback, great receivers. I mean, Ohio State might be a little step above with their 2 receivers than what Indiana has, but, yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I would not be shocked if Indiana won. I mean, and if they do get beat, I think they'll do well in the, playoffs. I mean, you may see Indiana, Ohio State again, who knows? You never know.
Yep. Hey, Tommy, before we move on, we were supposed to have a Vietnam vet on today, Lee Zebro. He's my neighbor. I met him about a month ago on the elevator. He was just coming home from the VA, and he has a piece of shrapnel from Vietnam that's working its way out of his leg. But Lee stopped down this morning. He's sick. He's got a cold and a sore throat, so we're going to postpone. But he's got some great stories. He's opening up quite a bit about his time in Vietnam. And we're working on, I asked him if he had a Purple Heart from the shrapnel wound, and he said no. So he and I have been in contact with Human Resources Command at Fort Knox and a few other people, and we're going to hopefully get the needed paperwork to submit him, and hopefully he can receive his Purple Heart sometime down the road. But we'll have Lee on hopefully next week or a couple weeks down the road, and when he's feeling better.
I think, without question, he deserves a Purple Heart, but knowing the government, it may be a year before he gets it, which is
Yeah.
crazy. But, it'd be nice if you could just say, okay, yeah, here it is, But, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think he's got a story to tell, and I think our audience would certainly appreciate that. Some NFL games over the weekend too. I mean, the Packers look good on Thanksgiving Day. I mean, that.
Very, very surprising. LaFleur finally started being a little bit more aggressive on the offensive side, and that last play to clinch the game, to end it was wild. I was surprised that they even threw it. So
Yeah, yeah, me
good
too.
for him.
But that next week, as you well know, the Bears are in first place in the Central Division, which is a shock. But Ben Johnson's an excellent. He was an excellent offensive coordinator, and you can see the Lions certainly miss him now that they got Campbell calling the plays. I don't know what that's all about, but and then. But they play the Packers next week, so that'll be certainly an interesting game, and the winner of that'll be in first place in
Yep.
the
And
Colts
that
got a
game's
tough
at
game today. They play, the Titans, I mean, not the Texans, which, always gives them a tough game, so after getting beat by the Chiefs, last week, at the end of the game, they got another tough game today. So from now on in, I think the games will be pretty tough, so, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the NFL. I think what's his name, Stafford is looking really good for the Rams.
yeah. Another interesting game today is the Vikings are out at Seattle, and if they
Yeah.
drop this one, they're pretty much they've been surprising this year, and I don't think McCarthy's starting today.
Well, I don't think he should anyway. I mean, I just think I don't know. Very few quarterbacks can come in the league and start immediately and do. I mean, look at the guy at the Bears. I mean, he was terrible last year, and this year he's really stepping up. And I think it takes a year or two to get that. And I see Rodgers is playing today against the Bills. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but
Reddy's got multiple fractures in his wrist, multiple broken bones, so it's his
yeah,
left wrist, of course, but,
yeah,
yeah,
and the
we'll see
and the
if he
Bills.
lands on it, how long he can stay in.
Yeah, the Bills are pretty tough, so, be interesting to see how that goes. Yeah, locally, we are back I had a basketball game Saturday that I was a little concerned about setting up for, but it got canceled, thank God, because of the weather, and, so, we're getting into the heat. Wednesday night, before Thanksgiving was the first boys' game in Hamilton Heights, where I'm at. We played Noblesville, which is just 5 miles down the road. Heights is in 3A, Noblesville's in 4A, so it was a step up, but it was both teams' both first game, and Noblesville ended up winning very handily, but at the end of the first quarter, Heights was up 19-12, and I thought, "Oh my God, what's happening here?" But then they came back, and what's great to see in high school basketball, of course, Indiana basketball is considered, the supreme throughout the country, but the gym was packed. I mean, both sides, upstairs, downstairs was full, and I mean, concession wise, we had a great night. But it's just good to see that. Of course, a lot of kids
Early.
home from college for Thanksgiving, and those type things. But it's good to see high school basketball. It's good to see that atmosphere when I mean, you go to a college game now, if you went down to the Badgers and watch them play, the place to be packed and hopping, and if you go to Purdue, same thing, but it's good to see high school gyms the same way, and I'm sure you went through that last year at Royal with the team they had last year. I'm sure the gym was rocking every game.
Yeah, it was packed. We did go last week. Jill and I drove down to Ithaca, which is quite a drive, and it was dark and rainy, but the boys shot okay. They've got a sophomore, Braxton Board, that played really well. Probably our best shooter didn't score until the second half, and we were down 9 against Ithaca with 5 minutes to go, and Ithaca went into the mossy stall, and they were holding the ball out there, and Royal came back and beat them, and
Did
our
they?
best shooter, yeah, Trey Wild, really stepped up at the end, and we probably go 7 or 8 deep, so they're a scrappy team. They don't have the killer guard like we had last year with Carter Uppenon and the big guy underneath with Landon Lipke, but they're a scrappy team. We've got some good shooters, and like I said, they go 7 or 8 deep. So a good resilience showing last week, and they came back and won by 4 or 5. So they open up Tuesday, and we're going to go to that. They play Pittsville, I believe. So we'll go watch them on Tuesday also. So they should be all right this year.
Hey, this is I mean, there's no problem, no reason I couldn't ask you on air, but, the alumni thing is January 12th, which is a
10th.
Saturday, right? 10th, which is a Saturday?
Yeah, I just want to double check that, but I'm sure it's the 10th.
Would they play at home on the 9th?
Unfortunately, the boys have no Friday night games this year. Can you believe that?
What? Why
Yeah.
not? Is there a reason?
I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, that's usually for the alumni tournament, we would schedule a big game or schedule the tournament on the
So
Saturday after
alumni
a
could come
huge,
back, yeah.
right. You'd have a huge Friday night game and then play on Saturday, but they don't play any Friday night games this year for some reason. So
So do they play during
that's
the
why they
week?
pick Saturday.
They play during the week?
Yeah.
What days do they play during the week? Just different days, or are they a certain day they play on
Yeah.
during the week?
It looks like a lot of them are Tuesday, Thursdays, but
Oh, okay,
yeah, no
Tuesday,
Friday night
Thursday,
games this year.
and then some on Saturdays?
A rare, maybe a Jag game. I'd have to confirm that, but
Huh.
rare on Saturdays.
So no weekend games. Wonder if there's a reason for that. That's kinda strange, really, just,
Yeah.
huh.
They may have a Saturday game down at Jag. I'd have to check, but, yeah, usually not unless it's a big game, like they schedule maybe Blair Taylor or somebody down at Jag, but I'll have to check on that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So
I've
we're
got a kind of an exciting week coming up this week. Uh, when I started my career in the grocery business, started working when I was 15, and then at age 16, I went to work for a group called Standard Grocery, which was a national tea company, which is a national company, but locally they called Standard Grocery, and that was back in 1967. Been 16. And so throughout the years, I've had many jobs with those people, but we have always got together and had a summer picnic and a Christmas dinner. So Tuesday night, Penny and I is going to go to a Christmas dinner, which is the reunion of the Standard Grocery Group, which when we used to go to those, there used to be 40, 50, maybe 50, 60, maybe even 70 people. And now we went to the picnic this year and there was 32. So you can see over the years that they're dying down. And
yeah.
Thursday, I have the opportunity to go down to Southern Indiana to a customer of mine when I was working that I was trying to think today. I almost think it might have been 40 years ago, it might have been 30 years ago. We started having a Christmas party for their employees. And the thing is just, I mean, it's gone throughout the years. It's not employees anymore. It's just a few employees, but it's mostly vendors. But Thursday night, I'm going to Jasper, Indiana, and to a Christmas party that's with the Beeler Group. It's called the Beeler Group. There was a customer of mine. So I got two Christmas parties this week. That's kind of the old folks' Christmas parties where we go and see people that I've known for years. And and you go and you wonder who's not going to be there because, well, you hear throughout the year who passes away. But it's a pretty exciting week for me. Looking forward to that. So that'll be an exciting week coming up as we get ready for the Christmas holidays.
Yeah. It's hard to believe that December 1st is tomorrow. We've got a busy week too. Jill goes in for surgery on Friday for her knee. Back in, I don't know, February or March, we were substitute teaching down at Royal, and she thought she was 25 again and jumped off the stage and tore part
Oh
of
my
her
gosh.
meniscus. So she, excuse me, she goes under the knife on Friday, but she should be good to go after the weekend. We'll take it easy
So it's just
Saturday,
not, it wasn't
Sunday.
a total meniscus tear, right? It wasn't
No,
total.
it sounds like it was a partial tear, but I know she's gimped along with it for months, and it's caused her a lot of pain. But she's finally set to go under the knife on Friday, so that's our big week.
She probably should have done a belly flopper off that stage. She would have bounced right back up.
Yeah. And down the road, we're heading back to Germany in February. We're going to stay for a month. We're actually going to fly from Madison to Amsterdam, spend a few days there. I've always wanted to go to the Anne Frank house. So we're going to
Yeah.
spend a few days in Amsterdam, go to The Hague and see some other things, and then go down to Belgium for a night. And then I'm very excited. We're going to Normandy for 4 or 5 days and see everything there. And then we'll go into the Loire Valley and stay in a town called Amboise, I believe, and then over to Dijon. And then we'll head over to see the kids for a couple of weeks. So excited
Oh,
for that trip.
yeah, that sounds great. What will the weather be like over in February? Same as here, or is it be different?
Yeah, their weather is very similar to ours. Right now, where Jacob lives in Waldenbuch, just south of Stuttgart, it's a little bit warmer, but they may not get all the snow that we get, but at times they do, and they'll get some cold temps. And so it's very similar to what we have here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. We haven't talked politics for a couple of weeks here, Mike. You guys, tell me about, I don't know if your YouTube thing has to do with politics or not, but tell me what happened with that.
Well, I've got a YouTube channel. So last week I loaded our podcast onto my YouTube channel. I've got 424 followers on that site, and it's a lot of travel. It's all travel.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
except for our podcast. But last week I was uploading what's called shorts. They're minute or less videos. And I uploaded one from when Jill and I were in Berchtesgaden. And basically from our hotel balcony, I zoomed up and showed the eagles, Hitler's eagles nest. And when you upload something like that, you can tag it with hashtags. So I hashtagged it Germany shorts, eagle's nest. Well, I used the hashtag Hitler. And within seconds, it came back that I violated, I don't know, hate speech or something. So
Really?
they gave me a strike. They took it down. I appealed it. Within a couple of minutes, they rejected my appeal. And it's all computerized, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And so I'm in YouTube jail for a week. I can't upload anything. So this podcast, I will have to wait until next week and upload that too, but
Put it
it'll
on
be on
we can put
Spotify.
it on Spotify, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so
My
stupid.
god, it is so
Absolutely stupid.
stupid. It is
You know,
crazy.
I go on Instagram and they show videos of, there's sites that show the Nazis and Hitler
Yeah,
speeches and stuff like, not to promote it, but just to show history. And that's
right.
all I was doing was showing a historical place. And so I get thrown in jail for it.
I mean, if you hadn't have said Hitler, it'd probably been okay if you just said the
Yeah.
eagle's nest, but a lot of people wouldn't have known what that was if you hadn't have said
Right.
Hitler, of course, without the
Yep. Yep.
huh.
Yeah. Crazy, but
So I
that's
didn't
okay.
know this. Speaking of that, this is kind of crazy, but we were talking Thanksgiving Day, and my grandson, of course, Brady, I cannot stand Brady broadcasting, but Brady was doing the broadcast, and my grandson said, "Did you hear when Brady said the N word on TV?" And I said, "What?" He said, "No, during the telecast, he said the N word and he apologized for it." And I said, "What are you talking about?" So he played it. What he was trying to do was say a player's name. His name was Nicker, and he said it wrong, and he
Uh,
immediately apologized for it. And I thought, the same thing, if that would happen. Of course, nowadays, I don't know if that would be because if you listen to any rap song, it's in there almost totally, and it's okay for them. And I would never say that word. It's certainly not my
right. Me
vocabulary,
neither.
but if someone did say it, other than in rap, it's certainly considered and I can understand that to a certain point. I mean, I don't like the word, I hate the word, and when you have a mixed family, I mean,
Yeah.
in our family, we certainly don't even think about that word, but,
Yeah. I don't see it either. But do you
it's kinda
remember
crazy, those words that go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, do you remember a couple of years ago when they were canceling everything and Baby It's Cold Outside they were canceling? And the number one song in the US at the time was Wet, ASS, Woman's Part. That was the name of the song, Wet.
Really?
Yeah. So they
No
tried to
kidding.
cancel Baby It's Cold
Yeah, I
Outside, but
remember that. I remember that, yeah,
then they
yeah.
have this rap song which talks extremely terrible about women, and that was the number one song in the country. It's crazy.
Is it? Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts, some of the things that go on like that. So what's going on in the political? I don't watch a lot of news anymore, though I do read on my phone, pops up every once in a while. And again, I love Senator Kennedy, so I watch most of his YouTube videos, and a lot of
Yeah.
them are old, but it's kind of nice some of them are new. But I did see where Trump's ratings gone down because some of the Republicans have kind of gone out of his favor. But I think whenever you're doing well, a lot of people's going to kind of,
Yeah.
going to try to tear you down.
I think what's bothering me the most now is where I get my news from. I don't know what's AI anymore and what's the truth.
Right.
Besides that, I think, there's still a lot of people up in arms about the inflation. Well, the inflation rate has gone down drastically from 4 years ago. Gas is down over $1. Eggs and a few of the grocery items, things are still expensive. But what people don't remember is that Biden pumped $30 to $40 billion printed money into the economy, which created the inflation. And it takes a good 2 years to bring that inflation rate down. But, people want results right now. But I really think for President Trump to get his ratings up to, where they used to be is the costs of some of these products need to come down even more. So that's what the people
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to see. But, there's so
Well,
many
the
people still,
interest
yeah,
rates has to
interest
come.
rate
If the interest rates come
and,
down, that would
and
really help a lot.
yeah. And that guy is supposed to be done soon. I can't remember his name, but what
Yeah.
gets me too is that so many people still watch the mainstream media and believe everything that's on
Yep.
there.
Everything they
And
say. Yep.
it just drives me nuts. But I'd still rather have him in office. I think right now the big thing is, the clean sweep of these cities. We had 2 National Guardsmen
Yeah, I
shot, one
saw that.
passed away, and hopefully some other countries hop on board. I have nothing against immigration, but do it legally. Do it the right way, get vetted, come to the country, do it the right way, and contribute. And we've got a lot of people in this country and other countries around the world that are creating a lot of anxiety, a lot of havoc, a lot of crime, and we need to rectify that.
Well, the mainstream media said that if he hadn't put the National Guard in Washington, D.C., that would have never happened, but crime in Washington, D.C. would be a heck of a lot worse than what it is today if he hadn't put them there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just,
Well, then let's take out the cops too. It's
yeah, I
like,
mean, they're always gonna find something. It's just, it's kinda crazy. But I turn the 5 on, and if that one lady's on the 5, I turn it off immediately. I like that the
Ford?
one guy that what's his name?
Yeah. His last name's Ford. I
What's
think
his
it's Henry I don't know his first name, but it's
Yeah, yeah,
Ford.
Ford,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I forget the girl's name, what's her name? Anyway,
I'll
she's
see if I can
terrible, I
find it.
can't stand but and then I do watch Gutfeld, I kinda turn it off and on, he's kinda funny politically and, some of the things that he says.
Yeah. Yeah, he's hilarious. I'm trying to get the names of the hosts on the 5 right now. Harold Ford,
Jessica
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 Tarlov.
Tarloff.
Yep.
Yeah, I
And
cannot
Harold
stand
Ford is the guy that I like too. He's a
Harold
liberal,
Ford, yeah,
but,
I like
he's good. Yep.
and Jesse's good, of course, and then the blonde, the cute
Dana
blonde, so
Perino. Yep.
yeah, Dana Friel's good, I like her.
Always something in the news about politics, but I've been trying to shy away from it more and more. I mean, I keep abreast of what's happening, but I don't dig into the weeds like I used
Yeah, I
to.
don't I mean, you're right with AI, you never know. I mean, it could be a Hollywood story, it could be a college coaching story, it's crazy. I mean, I'm afraid to even say anything to my friends if something pops up, about,
Mhm.
anything because you never and I don't know how you tell the difference. I really
No.
don't know how you tell the difference. I mean, it's
I've seen a site on Instagram that takes Bob Barker, and it's his voice, and he's on the, Price is Right, and one day he was in a tank top, sleeveless tank top, and just the videos and the words, and he's, throwing people across the stage and yelling at I mean, it's just and it looks real. It looks absolutely real, but it's just crazy what AI can do nowadays.
Some of them are really funny. I mean, where they take the little baby that talks like Trump or talks like Biden, it's kinda it's really good. Or after a football game, they'll have the losing coach get up and just cuss and scream about the refs and all this stuff, and he's not saying it. It's just somebody's
No.
voice.
And the big thing was a few weeks ago, the baby sitting out on the porch and a mountain lion or a bear or something comes and drags it off, and all those were AI. At first
Yeah,
everyone thought,
yeah,
holy cow, that happened, but then you started seeing it over and over.
yeah.
But otherwise, healthy prelude, Tommy?
Yeah, and I'm gonna get this right. My daughter was making fun of me about how
This
I
shit's
say
the
this because I'm gonna
bomb?
say this theshitsthebomb.com. That's THISSHITZTHEBALM.com. And that's the shits, not spelled the way you think. It's shits with a Z on the end. And that's Healthy Preludes, one of their sub lines, that you can get on the internet with. But today we're going to talk about Healthy Preludes Nature's Jelly. That's an item that Anna makes and sells online and in her shop. She'll sell it in her shop in outside of Elroy, Wisconsin, when she gets it done. Nature's Jelly is flowers and weeds infused oils mixed with carnauba wax hemp butter. This is a total vegan balm for just about everything. You can use this like you would Vaseline, plus it's a sunblock. Pure frankincense resin is ground and added to our flowers and weed infused oils, making these oils good for healing skin issues, adding a barrier of protection from the sun and chafing, and also healing rashes. So if you get any of those unwanted rashes, you should put Nature's Jelly on there. Products infused oils of bee balm, calendula, Roman chamomile, arnica, plantain, dandelion flowers, comfrey, and rose. And I would imagine that the flowers and weeds, she could find a lot of them up there outside of her
Yeah.
place in
Yeah.
Wisconsin that she makes this stuff out of. I'm just amazed at the different items and the different when you read the products. And I'm getting to know what they are now that I've read them so much. But again, that's go on to healthyprelude.com. Just click on Anna's product list and look at it. Nature's Jelly is one of those items. And I want to talk just real quick about Whoa Charlie. A lot of times I'll get the end of my fingers or my thumb or something to just itch so bad and I cannot stop it from itching. And I got up this morning and my right thumb was, and usually if I put it in ice, it'll freeze it and it'll help a little bit. But today I thought, I'm just going to put some of that Whoa Charlie on it. So I rubbed it in really good and kept rubbing it around for about 5 minutes. It's gone. I mean, the itch
Yeah.
is gone. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I
got a
use it on my
lot of
legs.
her products is just amazing. And
Yeah.
please go on and just look. I mean, there may be an item on there for you that you could use, and it certainly would help her out as she tries to recover from this fire.
And she sent me her kind of her new picture that I'm going to use on our podcast and her QR code. So I'm going to hopefully put that
Oh,
on,
okay.
and so people can go right on there. But otherwise, her website, yeah. And like you said, Tommy, I use Whoa Charlie on my legs, and it's amazing stuff. It's amazing stuff. So all
Yeah,
natural.
yeah, yeah. I look for a poem that might be apropos for Christmas. I mean, and I do have some for Christmas, but I didn't have one today. So I think we'll just go down into the basement again and go into Bigg's bourbon basement and talk about an item. This is by far my favorite bourbon, and it is Woodford Reserve. And this is Woodford Reserve Double Oak. And the Woodford Reserve Distillery is in Versailles, Kentucky, which is in the heart of horse country, and it is outside of Lexington, Kentucky. And it was established in 1812. And if you know anything about history, 1812 dates back to the Civil War, of course, before the Civil War, I guess. And the main building, which is still standing and is used by Woodford Reserve, was built in 1838. So I'm sure they've done some renovation to that. And we didn't tour this distillery on the Bourbon Trail, but it was interesting that I'm just amazed how old these are. And the modern brand Woodford Reserve was born in 1996 by the Brown Forman Company, which was one of the main companies in distributing bourbon back in the deal. But this twice barreled bourbon creates the rich, colorful flavor of Woodford Reserve double oaked, uniquely matured in separate charred oak barrels. The second barrel is deeply toasted before a light charring and extracts a soft, sweet character. So what they do, and like I told you once before, these barrels only use once. So they'll put it in a charred barrel. They'll leave it in there for, I think it might be even 90 days, a length of time. And then they'll switch it to another barrel that is lightly toasted and leave it in there. And then that's where they extract it from that barrel. And this is 90.4% proof, which is not a strong whiskey, but the reason I like it, it's really smooth. It's sipping. It makes a great old fashioned. And hopefully one of these days I can have a picture of my bourbon cabinet that Penny made for me and show you all the bourbon we have in there.
Did you see now, Tommy, where you can buy the glasses that you drink the bourbon out of that are the oak and they're
Yeah,
charred
We
inside?
Penny bought them. Yeah, that's what we drink
Okay.
out of now. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, she
Okay.
got
Yeah.
those. It was a Black Friday deal. You buy two, you get two free. So she got
Yep.
to took advantage of Black Friday. And I back to Black Friday real quick, talking maybe a little politics. But anyway, I heard on TV. I was watching this show called Indiana Business, and a professor from Indiana University of the Kelley Business School was talking about Black Friday and the amount of money that's spent on Black Friday. And actually, the amount spent this year, you talk about high prices, and it's got to do some with why it's more, but is going to approach $1 trillion through the holiday season, which is crazy. But he made the comment, and it's surprising to me, that more people are buying at the store level now than buying online, which
Really?
is a
That's
little
surprising.
different. People's getting out more often and stuff. And I noticed a couple of my neighbors, I saw them going out early in the morning, and then I saw them come back with a carloads. Uh, the kids, Penny and the kids usually go out on Black Friday. They didn't go this year. It's just, they said we can buy it online, same price. Why would you go out? But it was interesting that they said that, this year, it seems like more people are going to go to the stores. I don't know if it's just people wanting to get out. Maybe it's because gas is cheaper, and those type things. I don't know, but $1
Maybe
trillion
bring back
is going to be spent. You know,
Yeah, maybe bring back some tradition. I know Jill just mentioned too, she wants to go up to La Crosse and just not to buy anything, but just to walk around the stores and see what's going on. We
yeah,
haven't done that in years because we usually just click and it's here. So
right.
very interesting. Yeah.
There's a Kris Kringle Mart here, and we went a couple years ago, and it's just we didn't. The food was just so expensive, but it's kind of neat to see the different stuff. And we talked about maybe going and walking through there if it warms up to maybe 40 rather than in the teens. So.
We did that.
But, Penny put the Christmas tree up. She always does the day after Thanksgiving. Our grandson came over Thanksgiving night, and I can't get the stuff down from the attic no more. He had to help her, and then Friday, I went over to the school and did some things, and she put the tree up and all the decorations, so the house is fully ready for Christmas as we go. And of course, we're gonna be here Christmas, but we're leaving the day after Christmas. So, but
Yeah. Yeah. We've
and
been
I see
decorated
Jill's got
since
her tree up. See,
November
Jill's got your
1st. She
tree
goes
up.
up. I hauled some wood in this morning, got a good fire going. So, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we went to the Kris Kringle Mart up in Sparta on Friday, and boy, do
I
they do
saw
an
that
excellent
online. Yeah.
Excellent. It is unbelievable what they do up there. It's just awesome. They do a great job.
Yeah, it
So,
looks great. It looked great. Looked really
yeah,
good.
it was cold, but very nice. So,
Yeah, you can
I can
go to
give
La
you a
Crosse and real
go ahead.
quick, you can go to La Crosse. I don't know if they still have the record or not, but at one time they had the most bars in a city block was in La Crosse,
Yeah,
Wisconsin. I don't know if that's still true or not.
yeah. And the rotary lights are up there, and yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You can still drive through the park like you used to?
Yeah, I think if you give
Yeah.
some canned food or something non-perishable,
Yeah.
then you can go through for free.
Interesting. Interesting.
I can give you a breakdown on where we're at, Tommy. Like
Yeah,
I
let's
said,
do that.
I'm in Facebook jail this week, but I'll upload this one hopefully next weekend. But episode 4, we only had 31 plays on Spotify, but we had 26 plays on YouTube, 57, close to the other ones, a little bit down. Up to 43 followers and 317 plays from the 4 episodes that we've uploaded so far. So not too bad.
Not bad.
Hopefully we can. I think like I like Joe Rogan, but I don't listen to him every week, and I
No.
think the more we get the word out and hopefully encourage people not only to listen, but to go in and subscribe, even if they don't listen every week, just to go in and subscribe and get our numbers up a little
Yeah,
bit. But
I
it's
tell 'em
not
to
too
try
bad.
and no, I tell them to do that and, to subscribe. I said, "It's not gonna cost you anything, just subscribe," and that just tells us who's following us, and I think the more sophisticated we can get, maybe have call-ins and have a guest here like we're gonna have Lee maybe in a couple weeks and things like that, and then promote that we're gonna do that, that we might get some more followers and stuff. I mean, again, we said in the beginning, we're just doing this because we wanna do it, and it's just for our personal pleasure. I mean, it's not we're not here to make money by no means, but we certainly would like to get your feedback as to what and we were Breakfast Wednesday, last Wednesday, and, of course, most of those guys listen to it, and my cousin said, it's just like 2 old guys sitting around talking." I said, "Exactly, that's what we want
Yeah.
it to be. That's exactly what we're trying to get." So, yeah, so you're getting what we're trying to do. I mean, we're talking
Yeah.
it's 2 old guys sitting at a bar or sitting across the kitchen table just talking about everything in the world, from kids to whatever we wanna talk about, and, that's
You
exactly
know,
what we're trying to get, and I don't know that
and my
anybody out there is doing that. I mean, everything you listen to is specialized but we would like to have your feedback, and we want to get to the point where you can call in. Maybe we can get on all different subjects. But if you want us to talk about a certain thing, or we're not bringing up something, and I know my cousin said you have sex in your tagline, but you don't talk much sex, and I said, well, we don't talk much, but we
We
try to
will.
throw in a little once in a while, but we want it to be a family show, and we certainly don't want it to get nasty. Like we certainly can get down in the gutter if we need to, but we don't want that to happen. So.
I was hoping my spa discussion last week would generate some more listenership, but
It sure did. I
whatever.
had a lot of people question that, wanna know about that, and want to know more about it. Want to know if I had any pictures, and I said, "No, I don't have any pictures."
I think I've talked Jill into going again in February when we're over there. We've got a couple of weeks with our son and family. We're going to take some day trips just to get out of the house and give them a break from us.
Maybe you can secretly take some pictures, we'll upload them on our podcast.
Speaking of that though, Tommy, like you said, if people if they're out doing some chores or taking a ride somewhere and just throw us on to listen to and, maybe get a chuckle or two out of it. That's all we're looking.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we ask you to do, and, we encourage you to to listen. You don't have to watch, just listen, as you go down the road or whatever, and, hopefully, we will get to the point where we're a little more sophisticated and have guests and call-ins and be on YouTube and Instagram and all those outlets. So, Mike, we, did a little shortened version here. We still went 40 minutes, but, hey, it's, by the time
We,
you
we had
edit
no
it, maybe we'll edit it
we
will
had,
be
we had
right
no
at 40
agenda. We had no agenda, and we still went 40 plus
That's
minutes.
right,
So
that's
yeah.
right. All right, buddy, have a good
All right.
week.
Hey, you too, Tommy. Take care and love you, and tell
All right,
everyone hello.
love you. Talk to you. Take care.
You betcha.